Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into a live edition of the Dream Wager on this beautiful Monday, September 13th, 2021. As always, I'm your host, Dylan, and alongside me, Patriot enthusiast coming off a tough loss.
Tough one.
Elvis, how are you, sir?
Oh, great. The future looks bright, so can't complain here.
It's only week one.
Week one.
And joining us, our third member of the crew from sunny South Carolina, the legend, Joey D. How are you, bud?
All the way in the East Coast, but like in the Seattle game that we had, put up a good one. It was an exciting meeting all around, man. I enjoyed the football games, and, I told you guys to check out Bare Knuckle. Man, we had exciting fights. We had a bunch of knockouts. There was the one controversial fight that was the main event, Alexander Houston knocking out his opponent and then following up with a flying punch as the guy was knocked out on the ground. So me and Elvis talked about that controversial move. It's illegal what he did there because this is boxing.
He arrested for assault.
He came from MMA, so that's quite why. Maybe he was in that killer instinct mode, but yeah, you can't do that there. And then, of course, we had those Triller bouts, man. It was the unfortunate side of it. We saw Evander Holyfield, who, he's old. He's just a shell of himself, get knocked out by Vitor Belfort, who looks like he was on every steroid under the sun. And,
really?
Oh, man. Seriously. And there's no testing, everything like that. So he's TRT tour all the way back. And then, man, the other one that was good, though, is we saw the Spider, Anderson Silva, make a fool of Tito Ortiz because there was just, like we said on Friday's episode, Anderson Silva could finish Tito Ortiz any way he wanted to, anyhow, at any time. And that's exactly what he did. He got him out of there first in the first round and knocked him out cold. So
great. Well, it's great to have you both in on a Monday. Great to have football back. Fighting is going to continue this weekend. Amazing to see the fans in the stadium as well. Almost like a sense of normality and things going back to the way they used to be. Not all the way back, but we're getting there.
Most stadiums.
College football, that was amazing. The atmosphere.
I don't want to talk college football right now. I should even turn this down for the episode. Just embarrassing.
But I'm glad that sports were back. Not to cut you off, but
you're good.
We have a very heartfelt weekend, and it was good to see America strong. Full stands, pretty much. Great college games. I know you don't want to talk about it, but great programs as well. So
yeah. Well, we're not going to recap the college games, but yeah, it's amazing to have it back. We'll recap a couple games, and then we'll tackle tonight's Monday night showdown in Vegas, Ravens versus the Raiders. But I do want to start with the games we had yesterday. Crazy start of the year for a lot of teams. 8 outright wins by the Dogs. They were barking yesterday. That's more than we've had in any week last season. So let's start with one of the Dogs winning outright. I think, Joe, you called this. Steelers. Bills.
Yeah, man. All the way in Orchard Park. I just thought that Pitt, Mike Tomlin's a winning coach. We kind of always underrate the man. He always has the guys playing strong in early season. And, not that Bills were going to come out like, rusty or anything like that. I think they had a pretty solid preseason, but it's just that. It's just that you have a savvy veteran in Ben Roethlisberger. You got guys who've been there, done that on the Steelers organization, and the coaching, I think it comes along just well. So that was like a trap game in my opinion. That's why I went with the money line. I wasn't even going to need the points. I saw them winning outright, and that's exactly what happened over there in Orchard.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy. So much went right for the Bills last year, and in the first half, it didn't look good for them at all. They couldn't even get it past the 50-yard line.
No running game.
Yeah, and
Najee Harris on this is not even there.
It was. I think he went through a good defense. Both the defenses played well, but the second half they got outscored 23 to 6. So the Steelers defense looks amazing. Minkah Fitzpatrick was all over Stephon Diggs.
Bro, Don Bosco's own.
Yes, sir. And I mean, it was surprising. The Steelers only blitzed Allen one time yesterday, something I guess he just wasn't used to because that was the lowest blitz rate he's ever faced in his career at Wyoming and here.
They also got Devin Bush.
Bush back. They lost him for all last year.
He's healthy. He's a problem.
They also had that big special teams pump block for that blew the game.
The floods.
And now Big Ben is 8-2 ATS as an underdog in his last 10 games. He likes to be an underdog.
You got to ride that.
Let's go to this was a crazy game. Great call, Elvis. Cardinals outright win. They from the start. The Titans, where were they?
Non-existent.
Asleep at the wheel.
I was just kind of shocked that they didn't show up to play this game. I want to give a lot of credit to Kyle Murray. I know he had an exciting game.
Oh my God.
5 touchdowns. Looks like a video game in certain plays, but I'm gonna be honest. The guy who dominated this game was Chandler Jones with 5 sacks.
Career day.
3 in the first quarter, 2 forced fumbles. What more could you expect?
Those Jones boys, man, I tell you.
There's something in that water that their parents are feeding those kids.
Yeah, it's
It's in the
something.
genes,
They're
man.
just killers. I think with the addition of JJ Watt, I told y'all earlier, I know in the futures, when we have futures, I told you I'm very high on this team. I think they could make the playoffs. I'm not going to say they're going to win the division, but after last night's performance, you got to give them a shot. That was an amazing performance against Tennessee. I don't know too many people who took the Cardinals outright money line in Tennessee, but if you did, you cashed in because that was
Smart.
That
was only one of the best performances all weekend.
Had to have been.
I think that connection between Murray and Hopkins is unreal. It's beautiful.
Even Christian Kirk, he had 2 touchdowns, bro.
Wow.
Christian Kirk,
He's
had
a
2
solid
touchdowns.
slot receiver. He can also play on the outside. He's got a great route running.
Everybody was talking about Tampa, Dallas, and the Chiefs, but hey, don't sleep on Arizona's crew, man. They got their wide receiver crew. They got D-Hop, AJ Green, and Kirk.
How did AJ Green do?
He did pretty good. He's not the same he was
No,
at Cincinnati,
absolutely
but
not.
I seen him have a few balls.
Yeah, and I think because they have D-Hop, a top 3 receiver,
You
in the
got to
league,
double him.
You got to double him, and then Christian Kirk and AJ Green are going to get favorable matchups.
Exactly. You're gonna have the safety help on D-Hop, and then you're gonna have Kirk 1-on-1. He's
And
gonna
if you
blow
don't have a
the-
spy on Kyler,
he's gonna eat you for 20 yards rushing. And then AJ Green can't just throw a third stringer at him. He's still an elite receiver. He's just not who he was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I thought it was a great road win for the Cardinals because Tennessee's O-line is not bad. It's probably one of the best, and he made Pro Bowler Taylor Lewan look like a fool. He exposed him every play. Taylor Lewan tweeted, he goes, I played
Thank
the
you.
worst game. Thank you. He goes, you inspired me to do better, and now it's time to get to work. And I almost put the bet in for the over 54. The over almost usually hits when Tannehill is at quarterback, but it landed at 51. It was going into the fourth quarter. The total was at 51. No points were scored in the fourth quarter.
Vegas
Somehow.
made a call.
Now Tannehill is 21-5-1 to the over. And we talked about how good the NFC West is. All 4 teams won yesterday.
undefeated division.
So we'll go to another NFC West team. Your team, Joe. You should feel good about this win.
Russ,
On the
4
road,
touchdowns.
Him and Lockett. Lockett had a game too.
Yeah.
Both on my fantasy team.
It's like another situation there. You got to kind of maybe double DK, keep an eye on him, and then you got Kirk like Cardinals. They're getting double D-Hop. You got DK getting doubled. Boom, Lockett goes deep because he's one of the fastest receivers in the league, and he's going to be wide open.
Yeah, Lockett exploded in the first half. DK
Have a catch.
he didn't have a catch to half,
Yeah.
That's right.
and he still ended up with I think 470 in a tub.
And it's
They look
I
good.
mean, and the Hawks always play well when coming east. Since 2008, Russ has 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions with a 13-1 record.
I was worried about the under not cashing. I was
Yeah.
seeing how they were scoring, and I was like, oh, man, the under's not going to cash. This is going to be an over game because I was like, there's no doubt this is an under game because I saw 2 strong defensive matchups. But, hey, man, I'm proud of the boys. They played well.
Talking about that game real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Do you just throwing out there? Quick question to you guys. You think Colts regretting rushing Carson Wentz back? Because last night he did not.
I mean,
look
he had
good.
a decent. He passed for over 200.
Statistically, yeah.
Yeah, but he
Two
had,
touchdowns.
he had a fumble early.
Yeah, he had a fumble early. I mean, but the whole team didn't really play well. I thought the defense didn't come to play either. And we were talking about how good their defense
Or
was.
Seattle just might be that good this
Yeah,
season.
they might
Chris
be.
Carson looked well.
90-something yards on the ground.
He ran the ball well. Only thing with him, he just got to stay healthy and not fumble the ball. And he's
In the fourth quarter, it kind of seemed desperate. They kept going for it on 4th down, the Colts. So, I mean, even if they were converting, I felt like it didn't really matter because Russ was just balling yesterday.
bro, he went crazy.
right.
I had him on fantasy team.
And it's stuck. The Colts are now 0-8 in their last 8 home openers.
Fade them.
It
Week
goes
1.
back to Peyton Manning.
Yeah, literally. Let's go to another. I gotta make an apology. I'm not high on the Eagles, or still not maybe as high, but holy shit, they looked good. They looked sharp, crisp, buttoned up, disciplined on line.
Jalen
not a
Hurts.
bad penalty. Jalen Hurts dominated. What he threw for 264, 3 TDs, plus he got 60 on the ground running. Kyle Pitts did not help them at all.
At all.
No.
But you can't blame him. He's only a
No.
rookie. Can't expect him to make a major impact in the first
Matt
game.
Ryan was like running for his life.
Yeah, their offensive line didn't help.
Fletcher Cox is back. Ingram is back. I'm telling you, that defense is healthy. The offensive line is healthy. I try to tell you guys during our features, this team is finally healthy. The offensive center, Zach Ertz, have played for the first time since 2019.
Wow. And he wanted out. Remember, he wanted to.
He wanted out. Now him and Dallas Goedert.
But hey, that might say something to the toxicity that maybe that was going on with the QB Carson Wentz, man. And now that he's gone, it's like a fresh start. Yeah,
him and Zach Ertz be hunting ducks in North Dakota.
Are we a believer of Nick Sirianni? Granted, it's only one game, but
it was an impressive win.
Impressive road win.
I know Atlanta
isn't the best team,
and I know they had they had the worst defense last season.
Yeah,
and they're probably not going to be much better this season. But what Philly did yesterday was very impressive. It's not easy to do to beat a team at home by 21 points.
And on the road, they held the home team to not even a touchdown. That's impressive.
Even Matt Ryan is a former MVP.
Yeah.
The fact that you kept Matt Ryan out of the end zone is impressive. Who would have thought we would have woke up Monday and Eagles are the only team would have won and leading the NFC?
That's funny.
I'm the only one that probably saw this coming.
How about Houston? Oh my goodness.
Was this a shocker of the weekend? I'll say the Saints.
I'll say the Saints too, but how bad must the Jaguars be? They got to be the worst team. Tyrod Taylor cooked them.
I feel sorry for Tyrod Taylor last season because Justin Herbert came in. Tyrod's talking about, I can still ball, baby. He can still ball.
Those are surprises of the weekend for sure, having those two teams lead the division.
Look good.
Brandon Cooks look phenomenal.
Duke Johnson came out. Mark Ingram. Who would have thought Mike Ingram still has some gas left in the tank?
What, he had like 17 carries for 80-something yards and a TD.
And then Tyrod Taylor still can move. He still shows you he's still one of the best mobile quarterbacks in the league.
He's actually very like mechanical. Like he doesn't throw too many interceptions.
Oh, he
manages.
Vet. He understands the game. He sees it well. He just never was on on a pedestal.
He's not an elite quarterback.
The best team you could arguably say he was playing for was the Bills a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He always been on a wishy-washy team. Never really got a few years to develop the system. He always been a 1 year, 2 year out type of thing.
I would always think of him and Teddy Two Gloves kind of like the same.
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably give Teddy
the slight edge.
But Tyrod Taylor, he's experienced.
I know we got off topic from the Eagles right there, but those two, there's a great comparison there. And if you want to talk about the Broncos next, I mean, Dylan, you had the lock of the weekend, I think, with that one.
Yeah,
I told you now. I just told you.
Yeah.
Teddy Gloves is 23-2 ATS.
Woo.
He's a covering machine. He had the better team, even without Jerry Jeudy. He got hurt. Jerry Jeudy got hurt, and they still carved that defense up.
And it looks like he broke his ankle too.
Yeah, he's out for a while.
He got carted off. I saw it live.
But yeah, Danny Dimes. It's Danny Turnover.
Yeah, he's not good. Danny loose change. Let's just say loose change. That's what he's doing.
Oh, man.
He's giving you change.
There's no more excuses. They gave him all of these weapons.
Bro, you got a great line.
Saquon's back.
Kenny Golladay.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard. That's solid.
There's no reason why you should be turning the ball over.
I don't know, man. Maybe Peyton Manning, Eli just ain't meant to be GMs.
And the Denver defense looked phenomenal.
Yeah, Von Miller.
I told you, Von Miller came back.
It's going to be hard to play a Mile High for sure. Yeah. It's going to be hard to play them a Mile High.
Tough loss. Tough win, tough loss for anybody in this upcoming season.
Absolutely.
You're not about to go to Denver and guarantee a win.
It was surprising because last year, for how bad the Jaguars and the Jets were, they were at least favored in at least one or two games. The Broncos were never favored in all 16 games last year.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, Von Miller was out the whole year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing about Teddy. He's not a great quarterback, but he's not a bad one either. No. He's well above average. I think Teddy could honestly be a top 15 quarterback in this one.
And he's accurate, like I was saying.
The only problem with him has been injury. Yeah. I remember Minnesota. He led the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. Let's talk about another New York team, Panthers, Jets. Another one they almost backdoor covered though.
I was panicking.
Yeah.
But yeah, the O-line for the Jets still looks bad. Mikael Becton.
Oh, he might be out for the year.
No, I got an update. His knee just
tweaked it,
4 to 6 weeks. So
it looked worse. It looked worse.
But Zach Wilson I think he got the jitters out. The first half, he didn't look accurate.
I was just saying he did not look accurate in the first half.
he
Thank
was
you.
not throwing he was putting the ball into tight situations where they don't need to be.
He was forcing it a little bit, a little anxious.
But I had higher expectations for the Panthers because I could say the same for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't look that accurate either.
Not impressive.
Yeah, I was telling this to Dylan this morning. I'm like, yeah, the Panthers won, but they didn't win as convincingly as we
For some
would've
reason,
thought.
the Jets impressed me more coming off of the
Yeah.
season they had last year.
If the Jets just play the
Yeah.
fourth quarter 4 times, they win this
They
game by
win the game.
double digits.
Yeah, their defense didn't look as bad as I thought
Yeah.
they were going to.
It literally just took a half for Zach Wilson to settle down.
Yeah.
Then you see the potential there. The first half, I didn't see. I was like, this kid's a buzz. Second half, I was like, all right, I can see why some people say he's Aaron Rodgers like. I don't
think-
see that, but I saw it a little bit.
As the year progresses, I think you're going to see both the teams kind of, and that's always the case with any team, they adopt the personality of their coach. And I think you're going to see the Jets improve because of the type of coach that Salah is as compared to Matt Rule, because he seemed not lackadaisical, but you could see the differences on the sideline between Robert Salah and Matt Rule. There was a big difference between the two. Fourth
You could
quarter,
tell
they were riled up.
You could tell who's yelling at you in the locker room, who's just but like, yeah, it's okay. We go.
Yeah. I mean, CMC helps Sammy D so much. He takes the load off
Safety
of him.
blanket,
He got me
security blanket.
27 points without even a touchdown. Thank you.
He almost hit 100 yards, but
PPR king as a running
Yeah.
back.
When you have a safeguard just to hand the ball off like that to a guy like him, it gives so much confidence, I feel like, to the quarterback who might be struggling. But he had a nice connection to Robbie Anderson. Fuck Robbie Anderson for doing the jet thing in Carolina.
I'll be honest, I like that.
I know. I probably would have done the same thing, but fuck you for that.
Uh,
But yeah, I covered on that game. Elvis, we got to talk about you. What happened?
About what?
Patriots Dolphins.
and that was a tight game.
Dylan,
I can't believe they blew the game. The
Dylan.
Patriots should have won the game.
Dylan,
They
to
had
answer your
4
question,
fumbles.
nothing happened.
Okay, let me hear it.
We had a great performance. Like you said, we had 4 turnovers. We fumbled the ball twice. We fumbled the ball twice. But the key thing is Mac Jones didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked good. He looked sharp.
Special
He
teams
looked-
was on point, as always.
He was on point. We could fix the running backs fumbling. Even when Jonnu Smith, he got flipped over, he fumbled. Thank God we recovered, but we was a little reckless with the ball. We could fix that up. I think crucially, the 8 penalties for 70 yards killed us. That was also big. But like you said, if it wasn't for the fumble, I think we win the game. With 3 minutes left,
They were driving. You
we
were
were
in field
driving.
goal range. You might have even scored a touchdown.
touchdown. Definitely a field goal. We was like at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, and you fumbled.
And then Harris fumbled. I can't blame
Weren't
him.
there a lot of offensive line penalties as well? You don't
Yeah, we
normally
had
see that
8
from our
total.
Dante Scarnecchia unit. Like, they're normally the most buttoned up unit in all of the NFL.
Bro, that's what I was saying. Like, at the end of the day, this is just week 1. Moving forward, we're not gonna have 8 penalties a game. We're not about to have 4 fumbles a game.
No.
So moving forward, I like exactly what we saw. At the end of the day, Miami's a good defense.
Yeah, great defense.
Great defense.
They got
And
players all
led-
around.
Yeah, and they're led by Brian Flores, who is what?
A disciple of Bill Belichick.
Exactly. So it was 2 very similar game plans, and I feel like I don't know what week we play Miami, but I think it's gonna be.
I think Bill's gonna button all of those things up: the penalties, the turnovers. I'm
We're not
glad
gonna
you got it out of your system week 1.
We're not gonna turn the ball over like we did week 1, and
Yeah.
we're not gonna have 8 penalties like we did week 1, guaranteed.
You know, this week practice is going to be they're all going to be held accountable.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
They're practicing today. Usually Mondays off. Nope.
Nope.
Y'all wanna do penalties? Okay.
We're going halves.
Tua, he's only the second QB to get a win at Gillette at the age of 23 in the Belichick era. That's pretty impressive.
It is.
He made some questionable throws. I'm still not sold on Tua,
I'm not
but
sold on him at all.
he made a great throw to Jalen Waddle too for that touchdown late to take the lead. I mean, but it was a defensive matchup the whole game, low scoring. Like you said, they know each other's game plan. So
it really was honestly the part of the same game plan.
yeah, Mac Jones, I think he played well. 29 for 39, 281 yards and a touchdown.
Bro, like I said, the future looks bright. You know,
Yeah.
Mac Jones, with his week 1 performance, had the highest completion percentage by any rookie all time.
That's why they
Wow.
went with him, because the
Exactly.
accuracy. You wouldn't have the same with Cam, though he is a little more
Yeah.
versatile. There's
Yeah.
just not accuracy difference there.
I understand. It was a lot of checkdowns, but at the end of the kid is making the right
Yeah,
play
who cares?
and in his first career start.
Who was I to think that the over was going to hit in that game, man?
Well, one thing I would like to say,
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
clear the air,
Hmm.
not controversial, but kind of controversial.
Oh,
If Cam Newton was starting, we would have won this game.
Wow.
Mm.
I just personally believe that.
Do you think they would have not turned the ball over as more?
I just feel like Cam would have made a player to win the game.
That Mac didn't.
Or got him down the end zone to hit a field goal. And
at the end there, we kicked 4 field goals.
Yeah,
unacceptable. I think Cam would at least let us. One of those field goals would have ended in a touchdown. At the end there, the future looks bright. That's what I'm taking from this. The futures look bright. Mac looked good. He ain't throw 3 picks. He didn't put the ball in harm's way. He ain't fumbled. He makes smart decisions.
Yeah.
So the future looks bright. We could tighten up. That's all we have to do is tighten up.
And you got us next week on the road.
On the road.
How about that? You got to watch that game.
Catch us.
We'll be there.
All right.
Maybe even recording there. Joe,
How about
be
that?
on the lookout. Let's go to probably, like Elvis saying, the surprise game of the week. Packers losing by 35 to New Orleans.
I saw it.
Great call, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
I was just thinking that there's so much controversy around the season. Granted, they got Aaron Rodgers back, but how much can you get missing OTAs and being there the second week of the preseason? It's like
All the drama around him.
drama around it. Though Matt LaFleur is a good head coach. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It's just Saints, Sean Payton's got as soon as they arrived at camp, ready to go, ready to play a cohesive unit. And like you said, the LASIK surgery that Jamie's got, that's all he needed.
Yeah, that's all he needed. I thought it was the Jameis Winston show yesterday, and he's getting comeback player of the year. I know
Florida quarterback now, FSU, started in Tampa Bay. When he plays in Florida, he's going to put on a show.
20-1 before the start of the season. Now he's among the favorites to win. He only threw very accurate, 14 for 20, 148 yards, but 5 TDs. That's fucking crazy.
I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that he threw 5 touchdowns or the fact that he only threw for 148.
It's got to be the defense that allowed him to do that, man.
Yeah.
That's the impressive part. I think the defense, what they're doing.
Also, Aaron Rodgers, we arguably saw Aaron Rodgers' worst game of his career.
I'm not even trying to troll, but the Packers didn't even look prepared.
They didn't show up. And I'll be honest, I think they flowed the way Aaron Rodgers goes.
No chemistry.
I think they just came off. Running game was non-existent. Defense looked terrible.
Yeah.
The fact that Jameis Winston lit him up. Yeah.
Without Michael Thomas, their best receiver.
Without Michael Thomas.
He's a little too laissez-faire, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, Tom Brady's going to get in your face and hold you accountable.
He was kind of on the bench like, I wish I was at Jeopardy.
Yeah, he gets in his head, you know what I mean? He doesn't, step up in a sense, though he's probably one of the most talented guys and individuals there are.
It was interesting. Before the game I was watching, he had, an interview with Aaron Andrews, and they was like, yeah, I was very on the fence of retiring. He was like, I have nothing to prove, on the field, to teammates, to coaches. He had this kind of attitude.
How about to yourself,
Yeah. I was like, well, what about to the fans that you promised and all the money that this organization has given you? And
come on now. Didn't the Bucks didn't give you no motivation? They just won a title. You don't want to bring one back with them too? I think that's enough motivation right there. Let's make this the city of champions.
Yeah,
but you're not thinking like that.
I thought Sean Payton had a great game plan. The play calling for Jameis was amazing.
Bro, I'll be honest, the Saints look good.
Yeah, and granted, it's week 1, but the defense, we knew the defense was always going to be good.
Defense is always there. Sean Payton is one of the best head coaches in the game, probably one of the best offensive minds in the game. Him and Andy Reid, you can flip a coin with that.
But like Aaron Rodgers said a couple years ago, the 5-letter word. Relax.
It's just week 1.
It's week 1. Relax. But let's talk about the game of the afternoon. Browns Chiefs. A lot of people were on the Browns. The Browns haven't won a season opener since 2004. They only covered 4 times, but they covered yesterday. What you think of the game yesterday?
They definitely let it slip.
Yeah.
They let it slip, but let's give some credit. Browns came out first half firing. Baker looked surprisingly good.
They had a great game plan too, Kevin Stefanski, I thought.
The Browns came out good. I like the way Baker came out. He was slinging that thing. Jadeveon Clowney
went for 2 early.
First half. He had a great first half. Jadeveon Clowney had an early sack. But this Chiefs team is just too explosive. I'm gonna be honest. That's just nuts. They put up, I think, 2 touchdowns in a matter of 2 minutes.
Yeah. What was that turnover too that helped them? They finally were able to get a stop.
The punter.
Yeah.
And Chubb, right?
The second half was 23-7.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, you gotta pull this game. You're up 12 at half, and you're up 9 in the fourth quarter.
Know what it was? The defense for the Browns fell apart in the second half. They had no answer for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek had what? 197?
11 catches for 197 and a touchdown. He almost had 200 yards.
Yeah.
Again.
And we were talking about how good their secondary and their safeties were, but
cheaters like that.
Cheaters like that. I'll be honest, that one throw when Pat Mahomes went to the right and it was just like a 75-yard
crossbody,
that was bullshit.
There's nobody that could do that in the league though. There's them too.
That should have been a pick, dog. That one was lucky. That one was lucky. So every other throw,
I mean,
I'll give it to you. But that right there, that one specific play, that was pure luck.
We don't even have to say anything else about Mahomes. He makes plays where I didn't even think that was possible to even anybody could make.
Yeah.
What'd he throw? 3 touchdowns for 337 yards.
Mostly on the second half.
How about this? Mahomes is undefeated in his career in the month of September. 11-0, 35 touchdowns, and 0 picks.
Oh my God.
He's an absolute superstar.
There's nobody like him. And he's the youngest person to get to his amount of touchdowns at his age, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
In 50 games, something. I forgot the exact statistic, but he passed Dan Marino, or did it before Dan Marino's number. Which
Just Dan Marino, fucking Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, it was great games. A lot of dogs were barking. Ooh. Let's see if the dogs are still barking tonight. Let's talk about Monday night game.
Raiders.
Raiders. Let's go. Ravens are 4-point favorites on the road, taking on the Raiders. Total set at 50. Joey, I'll start with you. How are you attacking this game?
I'm liking this game. I think it's interesting, and we're going to see Allegiant Stadium. We're going to be in there, the black hole in Vegas now. Man, I'm excited for this one because, we had the 5-year undefeated streak preseason Ravens. They're coming into week 1, and they normally come out hot, and they're going to have to keep up with the rest of the division in a sense. So I just don't know what to make of the game. Seeing that with what we saw Thursday night, what we saw over the weekend, I think it's kind of up for debate what's going to happen. And I'll give you, of course, what I think in terms of the line. I feel comfortable taking Las Vegas plus the 4 because I feel like we're going to have kind of a neck-and-neck game. I got that at minus 110, so I guess I got it a little late in terms of that. But plus 4 makes me feel comfortable because a field goal game, hey, we're still going to cover there. And that goes in line with me thinking in the fourth quarter, we're going to have some exciting moments because you got some plus money for getting over 14 points in just that quarter. I think we might have some late game heroics. I don't know what side of the ball we're going to see it from. It could be defensive or it could be on the Ravens or the Raiders. The Raiders. You don't know what, of course, is going to happen there. But to have them score more than 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, you're getting plus 105. And I like that little play there for the quarter.
This is both teams?
This is both. They just have to score, no matter what. So that's a touchdown apiece and a field goal, maybe a field goal to win the game, and then boom, that plus 4 on the Vegas side covers. You know what I mean? I have it played out in my head, but you never know what happens in the NFL. And man, I'm also taking some player props, so I'll give you a little caveat before you guys take over. Player prop one that I'm taking is Darren Waller anytime touchdown. That's plus money at plus 100. He and Derek Carr, it's like an instant connection. He was one of the best tight ends in the league last year. I think he'll follow suit barring any injury. I don't think they're going to have to worry about that. So if you take Darren Waller anytime touchdown, that's plus 110, and I think it's a lock because there's bound to, who else does he have? Henry Ruggs, kind of deep threat. But, hey, they clear out all the space in the outside. Derek Carr's got Darren Waller up the middle, throwing through the seam. So that seems smart. And, I said I'm high on Lamar Jackson in terms of his passing this year. I'm low on him having to run the ball and having to carry the team on the running back. I know they don't have that big of or depth of a running back crew. They got Lev Bell now and all that. But Lamar Jackson over 1.5 throwing touchdowns is at plus 115. I love my plus money, and I said I'm high on Lamar Jackson. So that's I'm going to take because, hey, Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown. It could be someone out of the backfield as well. Maybe Lev Bell's a great receiver, and he can catch something.
Hey.
So I don't know. I like the over 1.5. I think he's minimum going to get the 2 passing touchdowns.
I like it. I was thinking about a player prop, and I'm high on Lamar because I think everything runs through him. I was 100%. Leaning towards the over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I even like his rushing prop. It's only at 71. I think that's pretty low. He gets off the seam on one. They can't catch him.
Spectacular.
How about you, Elvis? Where are you going?
My official play for the night will be the under at 50.5 at minus 110. I just have a feeling, we're feeling that one of these teams are going to come out sluggish. Might be the Raiders, might be Baltimore. Remember, Baltimore is hobbled at the running back position. So I really don't know what to expect week 1. So I'm not picking a side here. I'm just going to favorite the under. I think the under is a lock here. And I'm going to lean 2 player props. I'm not going to be my official play. Might end up on my action by the night. But as of right now, my lean will be Darren Waller over 68 and a half receiving yards at minus 140. I know it's a little high, but at minus 140, it's very likely. And then you was talking about Hugs. Hugs over under for the game is 36 and a half yards. I would smash the over on that too at minus 130, but these are just leans.
Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs.
Cool. I have a small play. It's an official play. Call me a homer. I'm going to take the Ravens -4. Not going to be one of my biggest bets, but this line just stunk to me. Even before all the injuries back in June, I saw this line and didn't make sense to me. I get it. Raiders are going to be home back with their fan base, but the Ravens are just a better team. I think they should have at least been sick if everyone was healthy, at least a 6.5 point.
If everybody was healthy, I think they'll be at 5.5, 6. Not for nothing.
I think they're better. Coach Harbaugh is going to have his team focused and ready to win right out of the gate. In his last 3 seasons, week 1, the Ravens have outscored their opponents 141-19. Harbaugh is 10-3 ATS in week 1 in his career. I know they lost all their running backs, but they still got Lamar, and everything goes through him. I just think the Ravens are a better team. They're better coach. Small play, but Ravens -4. I did like the over as well when all the players were healthy, but now that so many people are out and now you got Marcus Peters, one of their top D-backs, is out, I would lean under as well with Elvis.
And any crazy people out there that want to sprinkle something on big money, Le'Veon Bell anytime touchdown plus 600.
Plus 600. Wow.
Why not? Why not?
I mean, a little reception out of the backfield.
Yeah, or Latavius Murray. Who knows who's gonna get most of the balls tonight? Might be Latavius, might be Le'Veon.
Or might be Devontae Freeman.
It might be Devontae Freeman.
Well, that'll be interesting because Latavius Murray going against his old team. That would be interesting.
I think Latavius Murray is the starting running back, and then I think Le'Veon was like more of a third down back.
Fill in. He can catch out of the backfield.
Yeah, he could catch. That's why I get him the third down. And then Devontae Freeman.
Who knows?
Who knows? But
yeah, question mark.
He can still run people over. So
I mean, at one point, all 3 of them were legit
amazing running back runs on fantasy.
Yeah. But
how the times have changed. But so on Sunday, a little for transparency, Elvis went 3-4 overall. He's 3-6. Joey went 6-7-1, the fucking push, and I went 2-1. Fucking Washington, man. Fitzmagic got hurt.
Fitzmagic did get a bad hit, but he got placed on IR, so hopefully he ain't done for the season.
My boy Heineke came in.
It's like that they threw one of my man Logan Thomas on the.
Yeah.
I got Logan Thomas on my fantasy team, so I needed that.
How about that?
So Elvis 3-6, Joey 6-9-1, and I'm 3-2. Got to do better.
We still got tonight. So
tonight, hopefully we all hit. Nice, short, sweet episode. We will see you guys on Wednesday to recap Monday Night Football, dive into a nice NFC East matchup for Thursday Night Football. And, yeah, so we will see you guys on Wednesday with more picks, hot takes. Everyone have a great day, couple days. Please follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram @The Dream Wagers. If you have a time, please subscribe, rate, review. All that good stuff helps us out tremendously. Be a friend, tell a friend, and everyone have a great day.